Rick Cavender, Bill Mull, I think, is here, and of course, Susan Naylor, front and center. Also, there's members of the boards of the Arcadia Live Theater here, if you can just raise your hand. Thank you for coming in to be with us today. I don't know if anybody got here from the Kerrville Folk Festival, but certainly we're happy with their support. And Austin Dixon, CEO of the Community Foundation of the Texas Hill Country, who we'll hear from in a moment. Together for Texas began in the early morning of July 4th as an idea that when disaster strikes, the arts can do more than just lift spirits. They can mobilize a community. And our goal was really simple, to use the power of the arts to uplift our neighbors in need. What happened next was extraordinary. Neighbors helping neighbors. Nonprofits helping other nonprofits. Artists, sponsors, and patrons from across the state stood shoulder to shoulder with us, proving that when Texas unites, there's no limit to what we can accomplish. And that's exactly what happened. Through the generosity of our presenting sponsors, Susan Naylor and the Will Naylor Smith Foundation, and Phil Green with Frost Bank, and many, many other supporting sponsors, as well as the performers and patrons, we are proud to present today a check for over $487,000 to the Community Foundation of the Texas Hill Country. These funds will provide critical support to families who continue to be affected by the July flooding across the Hill Country, helping them rebuild homes, restore livelihoods, and regain hope. To the Community Foundation, thank you for being on the front lines of recovery. We're honored to partner with you. And to everyone who made Together for Texas possible. The Tobin's programming team, led by Callie Hoke. The marketing effort, led by Lauren Keck. And our entire team, production, front of house, development, operations, catering, everyone. Thank you for proving that when Texans unite, there's nothing we can't accomplish. I believe this Tobin team was the only nonprofit arts organization in the state that it could have and did pull off such a wonderful event. You have proven that the arts don't just entertain, they heal, they unite, and they change lives. Together, we don't just make music, we make a difference. And together, we are Texas strong. And with that, I'd like to introduce again Austin Dixon, CEO of the Community Foundation of the Texas Hill Country.
Good morning, and thank you to everyone who's here today. I don't have prepared remarks, and that's dangerous because in this moment I might cry. I'm so overwhelmed with gratitude, and my representation here today is to speak on behalf of people in the Hill Country. So first of all, thank you. Thank you to the Tobin Center, and thank you to San Antonio. On the morning of July 4th, the first phone call that the Community Foundation received was from San Antonio. It was from the San Antonio Area Foundation CEO. Are you okay? Do you need our help? One of the second calls that we received was also from San Antonio, and the third. And by a few days after the flood, we heard directly from Mike at the Tobin Center about how San Antonio can help. If HEB is the FEMA of Texas, I don't know what Tobin Center is in this moment, but it's definitely a hero that stepped up, and we're so grateful. The Tobin Center, its staff, its board leadership, the donors, the artists that came together for Together for Texas, came together in rapid speed and was an amazing thing. In the run-up to the event, it was healing. We just felt that San Antonio was about to throw a party for us, and it was going to benefit our community. And knowing that some of the artists that were supposed to perform on July 4th through the Arcadia's 4th on the River Festival would again get a stage on which to perform was an amazing special tribute. All of the artists, we kept rolling out the names of artists that kept raising their hand to say, I'm in, I'm in, I'm in. We kept getting updates from the Tobin Center about this seed of an idea that kept growing and growing and growing and turned into a phenomenal event on Monday, the 18th of August. More and more donors and sponsors, many of which are here today, kept signing up, raising their hands. We're in, we're in, we're in. And each time we got an update about this event that kept getting bigger and bigger and bigger was a giant hug from San Antonio to a community that was and still is reeling from unthinkable and unimaginable loss and destruction. I was here on the night of the 18th. And I can tell you the past 90 days have been difficult for everybody in the Hill Country and for me personally. But that night, I got a little bit of a reprieve. They put me in a nice seat, they got me a drink, and I got to sit back and listen to some of Texas' best artists and some of the Tobin Center's greatest friends. I also got to meet Tobin Center staff, volunteers, a docent who I don't remember her name, but she walked me around everywhere with the most expertise you could ever imagine. I saw the behind the scenes staff with the headsets and the mics. The professionalism was unreal. And on a Monday night, everything was just clicking in motion. It was fantastic, and it was such an honor, and it was so fun to be a part. Lyle Lovett, Fluffy Iglesias, Steve Trevino, all the artists, it was an amazing night. And on top of all that, we raised significant dollars from the Hill Country, so thank you. What is this money for, and what have we been using it on? The Community Foundation of the Texas Hill Country, based in Kerrville, supporting the entire region, makes grants to nonprofits and awards scholarships to students in what we now call Blue Sky Times. But on the morning of July 4th, we set up the Kerr County Flood Relief Fund to raise money to benefit our community and to rebuild our area. So far, with this donation, our totals have topped $100 million to be deployed across Kerr County to rebuild the community. So far, we've put families in temporary housing. We're repairing and rebuilding homes. We have a goal to repair and rebuild over 350 residences. We are investing in mental health, both in Kerr County and statewide, to make sure that people have the mental health and grief supports that they need. We're also building vital infrastructure in our community. Our senior center was destroyed. Our nature center was destroyed. The Hill Country Arts Foundation in Ingram, Texas was destroyed. There's a lot to be rebuilt and repaired, both physically, in our hearts and in our minds in our community. And all of these monies will be deployed in that effort. So far, the Community Foundation has already granted over $20 million to local nonprofits in our area, helping families, small businesses, first responders, and crisis assistance efforts in the rebuilding and repairing of our community. And my commitment to you is we will put these funds directly to work to repair and rebuild homes and lives. Again, thank you so much to the Tobin Center, especially the sponsors, the artists, and the staff of the Tobin Center. Again, in their purple shirts, they worked so hard for us. And as Mike said, when nonprofits help one another, that's just the heart of what community is about. I am filled with gratitude today, and on behalf of everybody who is still in deep pain in the Hill Country, thank you so much for all you've done. There are no words. I will close with this, and that is this whole experience, from the original call from Mike to this today, has been over the top, and the Hill Country will never forget you. We will never forget what San Antonio and the Tobin Center did for us in our time of need. Thank you.
Let's do the check.
Do this.
So that's the check. He can bring it right to the bank. Susan, can we get you up here for a photo? Okay. thank you, everybody, for coming. Appreciate it.
Amazing speech, too. That was awesome. So proud of this.
You've been busy?
Yes.